It's that time of year again for NASCAR to restart their season. The Cup Series is yearly done an exhibition race a week or two before the season starts in Daytona, and this year is no exception. The Busch class, as is known formally, has been an event going on since 1979. Back then, it was just a 20-lap sprint race between the top drivers of the previous year, going for glory into the Daytona 500 week. The race has changed a lot over the years, and most recently it changed in 1990 to a split race format, where it went from 10 laps green, with a slow period in the middle that flipped the field and let them race for 10 more laps. In 1998, it was once again reformatted into the Budweiser Shootout, which would feature a 25-lap qualifying race and then a 25-lap main event. 2001 was once again changed in format, with now 70 laps required to make up the race. The shootout race was eliminated altogether, and yellow flag periods counted towards the lap count. Alongside this, a mandatory two-tire green flag pit stop was enforced, spicing up the strategy even more. 2003 saw a change to add a yellow flag after lap 20, which preceded the next 50 laps of racing. 2009 saw the race increase to 75 laps, with the first period increasing from 20 to 25. During this time, many iconic battles and famous moments took place, such as a wild night for Kyle Busch, where he spun around several times and still managed to eke out a victory by mere inches. Denny Hamlin's infamous loss, where he dropped below the yellow line and got penalized for it, which resulted in Kurt Busch winning, and Dale Jr. winning on his debut for Hendrick Motorsports. By now, the race was truly at its peak, and every driver and fan took it not only as seriously as any other regular points-paying race, but they all looked forward to it opening up the new season for the sport. 2013 and 2014 saw a format get voted on by the fans, which had three segments of 30, 25, and 20 laps, with the focus on more of the successful drivers rather than a larger grid. The races were not as well received, however, due to both single-file racing and big wrecks taking out lots of contenders really early on. 2015 went back to the original 25 to 50 lap format and boosted the field size up again, but it did not change how much the event started turning into a wreckfest. 2017 returned to the smaller field size that was briefly shown years before, but the race started to sell it even more, now going from a popular must-see event to one that many fans started to call stale and even boring. The race reached a boiling point in 2019 when, throughout the runtime, it was plagued with rain and lots of single-file racing. The race ended prematurely when a massive crash took out 17 of the 20 cars running, and rain fell on the track once again and denied any chance of the race restarting. After the disaster that was 2019, 2020 was a make or break year for the race. With a new package that saw more horsepower and higher top speeds, the action was surely going to be great. Unfortunately, most of the race was once again single file and eventually turned into a wreckfest during the last 10 laps. What was an 18-car field at the start of the event dwindled all the way down to 6 cars, with only one of them not suffering sort of any damage. 2021 saw the first major change to the event format since 2014, going to the road course in split segment. The race, whilst fun, was not a long-term solution to what the fans or even the sport wanted, and somewhere new and possibly risky would have to be tried and tested. So NASCAR announced that for the 2022 running of the event, they would be going to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The track would consist of a quarter mile, almost uniformly flat, with the format focused on heat races rather than the main event. The 4 heat races would each be split up into 25 lap lengths, with the top 4 automatically qualifying, and everybody else would end up in the last chance qualifiers that would both be 50 laps of length, in which just 3 of those drivers would be guaranteed to make it into the race, and a final spot would be guaranteed to the person who had the highest points finish from the last season, totaling 23 spots. It was a frantic, exciting, and new format to the event. The last chance qualifier races saw a lot of pushing and shoving to make it to the 150-lap main event, in which Joey Logano won after slowly working his way up through the field and passing Kyle Busch. Nothing crazy happened, but the format worked and would stay relatively the same into 2023, and now into this year's running. 2024 sees the same 4 heat races of 25 laps. However, there is no qualifying that sets the field for the heat, just the results from practice. And instead of 4 drivers making it in per heat, it's 5. After the heat races, the second day sees one main last chance qualifying race that has everyone else who did not make the race. Only the top 2 would make the race, with an extra driver's spot for the highest points finisher from the year before. Afterwards, it's a brief wait with driver introductions and fanfare before the race starts under the lights at the Clash, taking place at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 5 p.m. locally. At lap 75, a brief stop in the action for a quick mid-race concert, when afterwards the race starts right back up again. Caution laps do not count during the event either. So who are the guys to look out for in the race? It really is anyone's guess, although there are trends to follow. Of the two races run at the Coliseum, Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. won both of them, and they have proven capable as winners on short tracks over the past couple of years. Previous years have seen drivers like Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch lead the most laps, which provides confidence that you can bet that they get to the front, they'll be able to lead. Austin Dillon has also had several good results at the Clash in the post years, although there's a risk with him and his inconsistency. Predicting is a lot harder than it seems, but that's what makes the race fun, is that there's a lot of unknown, and there's a lot of guessing games. For those curious, the race will be broadcasted on Fox in the United States, with the practice, heat, and last chance races being broadcasted on FS1, alongside, for the first time ever, the NASCAR Mexico Series, being a prelude to the last chance qualifying races. Due to recent changes made by NASCAR, there is now free access to the public for the Saturday events to those in the local area. If you happen to be in the local area and want to see some quick fun in action, check it out. The exhibition race to begin the NASCAR season is here and amongst us, and we hope that it's exciting as it has been so far. If you've enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe. My goal is to pump out more videos and hopefully improve the quality of them over time so that more of these can happen and make it easier for newer fans to get into these great sports.